Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video and another unboxing. Today we're featuring a very special watch from China from Atelier Wen. Atelier Wen was founded by two French people who were obsessed with Chinese culture, and they wanted to showcase the true power of Chinese horology. Now, if you follow my channel, you know I featured a huge number of Chinese brands, usually cheaper ones, and then eventually reached those higher end ones like the Peacock. Well, Atelier Wen is probably the highest grade of those high-end Chinese watches. Now, in my videos, as you've seen through the years, when I got those cheap Chinese watches, you could clearly see where the cost cutting was done. But as the years progressed, especially in the last year and a half, even those $100 watches are incredibly well made. Well, this is a different level. Now, like I said, this is just the unboxing and first impressions. We'll cover the history of the brand and the model itself more in the full review, but I just wanted to check out the watch at first and see. This is very special. It's called Perception, and you can see by the box, this is probably the most unique box I've ever seen. So you open this side, here you have the additional rubber strap, you get the cloth for cleaning the watch, and you have the papers of the watch. When you open this side, here you have the tools for sizing the bracelet, which I already took out, and a carrying pouch that contains the watch itself. So a very cool box, and as you can see, it's like made of wood. It's very, very cool. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's open this pouch, get the watch out, so you can see what $3,000 brings you when you go to a Chinese watch. Now, why does this cost $3,000? Well, because of the way it is made. So let me just zoom in and check out the watch. When it comes to the watch itself, it's a typical integrated bracelet sports watch, and one thing that I noticed as soon as I opened it is just how thin it is. I will have the specs in the corner of the screen because, like I said, this is just the unboxing, but I'm pretty sure this is under 10 millimeters thick, which is incredible for an automatic. And it comes with this sapphire crystal that's slightly domed, so it's not like huge dome, it's not completely flat. It has that like almost like a Grand Seiko type of dome that's almost invisible, but it's there. It kind of gives this higher end feel. The watch itself is beautifully finished. As you can see, it's a combination of brushed and polished surfaces, many angles, the bracelet as well. It's integrated solid links, solid end links, and luckily comes with quick release pins, which is cool. So meaning that means that you will be able to switch to that supplied rubber strap problem free. It comes with a partial case back that's open partially, and partially it's deeply engraved. Now, the movement powering this thing comes from Peacock, and if you follow my channel, you know I featured a couple of Peacock watches. They're probably the highest end movement makers in China, and they also make their own watches like that Central Tourbillon I reviewed. They have amazing watches. Well, for this they supplied the movement, but the real star of this watch is the dial itself. But let's finish with the bracelet. Now, the bracelet, as you can see, comes with a milled out clasp, solid links, solid end links. It has this very cool engraved, let me just get the camera to focus, and there we go. So as you can see, it has this deep engraving of the letters are embossed, and then you have this frosted finish behind. And this sliding thing is something I first saw when I owned the Triple Date Speedmaster. It allows you to put the watch over your fist or over your hand when you have a smaller wrist and slightly bigger hands like I do. Then sometimes when the watch is sized for you, you have a problem pulling it over. This extends that. But another cool thing is the on-the-fly adjustment that this watch has. As you can see, it does have it, but the way it operates is that you can size it on your wrist. So you can just slide it in or out by pressing the logo. So you press the logo and it goes in. When you release, it clicks back. Very cool. And look just how fine the machining is, the tolerances of this logo. And it also features that embossed finish with a frosted background. Very cool. But okay, let's go back to the watch itself. I mean, to the star of the show, or the dial. Now, I can't wait to do macro shots of this, but this is one of very few hand-turned quilloche dials in the world currently. It's believed that about 30 people in the whole world are still able to operate this hand-turning machine that creates these quilloche patterns by hand. Other guys use like machines and CNC and everything, but this is handmade, and it's handmade by one single person in China that's the master of its craft, called Cheng Yu Cai. Now, I probably butchered his name, but he actually designed the machine itself. He was fascinated by quilloche dials and he wanted to learn. He didn't have anywhere to learn it, so he was self-taught. He created the machine, designed it, and has been creating quilloche dials ever since. He does have a studio with a couple of students, but each one of these dials was made by him, and apparently it takes him 8 hours to finish one single dial. So that is what you pay when you pay $3,000. You pay the ability of a person to do this kind of intricate finishing by hand. Now, I don't know if the camera is doing this watch justice, but in person, this dial is simply mesmerizing. I also love the way they created the hour markers. As you can see, they kind of go at an angle from the dial to the chapter ring. Then there's this little channel where they're cut, but then you have the second part of the marker just continuing right there, and they're all highly polished as well as the hands. And I do like, you can see the premium nature of the watch by the cap on the seconds hand, which is something you usually find only on high-end watches. Now, the watch itself is 40 millimeters in diameter, and I believe like 47 lug to lug. And I'll put it on my wrist because I did size the bracelet so you can see how it wears on my 6.5-inch wrist. But I can tell you right away, this is probably the only integrated bracelet watch that doesn't look ridiculous on my small wrist, because it actually is quite short lug to lug. Okay, so let's just close the clasp. And here it is, the watch on my 6.5-inch wrist. As you can see, it doesn't overhang. It actually follows the curvature of my wrist pretty much perfectly. But the most amazing thing when I put this on my wrist was the thinness. Look at this. It's almost as thick as the bracelet, I mean the watch itself. That's why I'm saying this has to be under 10 millimeters. I will have the specs in the corner of the screen and naturally for the review. Now, so far, I just opened it up, put it on my wrist, sized it, and then I decided to do this unboxing. But I can tell you right away, I'm mesmerized by this. It really is. Although it's really amazing and unique. I know it's a take on one of the most popular watch shapes in the world, but it has so many unique factors, so many unique details that it's their own design. Despite being inspired by something like an AP or Patek Philippe, this is a truly unique looking watch. I personally love it. Now, as usual, I mean, I won't be doing the lume shot because there's only lume on the hands, so it really doesn't make sense when you don't have it on the markers. But like I said, do stay tuned for the full review, because I can't wait to put this dial that's, again repeating, handmade under macro to see how it looks. Very cool watch. Oh, one more detail that I just noticed. The bezel, as you can see, it's actually concave. Very cool. Usually they're just like convex or rounded. This one is concave, again giving another unique design feature to this watch. The finishing, when it comes to looking at through my naked eye and through the camera, it seems very, very good. But we're gonna see in the full review when I put this under macro if it really lives up to the expectations. Wow, very nice. Anyway, so that's it when it comes to this unboxing and first impressions. Do stay tuned for the full review, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.